Let me see who can ask a question, yeah, to both me and Kofi about what solutions do Muslims and Christians have for the problems that are facing the world today. That would be nice. How can we work together? We've got differences, we ain't going to sort it out tonight. But you know what? The world around us is falling to bits. Yeah? The world around us is falling to bits. People are starving, people are dying, people are being murdered, people are being killed, people are being tortured in the name of Islam and the name of Jesus. Yes. George Bush calls himself a born-again Christian. You know? Osama is killing people, women and children in the name of Islam and Al-Qaeda. Okay, this is what people are doing in the name of religion. And there are people there leaving religion, leaving it, because they say all you people do is cause more bloodshed and warfare. And our world is being destroyed, being polluted, the environment is being... I've got a question for Kofi. Yeah? What does your belief in Jesus, how is your belief in Jesus going to help make the world a better place? There's my question for Kofi. There you go.
Okay, I've got good news and bad news. So it depends on which one you want. Alright, I'll give you the bad news. It's going to get worse. The reason it's going to get worse is because we're living in the end times. These are the end days. The Bible tells us that because lawlessness is going to increase, the love of man is going to grow cold. Today, Canada, one of the places where they have the safest cities in the world, is now having a crime. There's a crime blitz in Canada, New Zealand, everywhere you go. I listen to the news on the net all the time. Everywhere you go, crime is on the increase. Earthquakes. I was talking to Hamza about this. Was it 3 or 4 days ago? We were talking about this. I've just done the statistics. Earthquakes are on the increase. Why? These are the end times. Wars, you would think, after all we've been through as a people, it will stop. No. That's the bad news. The good news is, from a Christian perspective, Jesus says, when you hear these things, don't worry about it. Because as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man. These things are going to continue, they're going to increase, and then Jesus is going to return. So from a Christian perspective, Christians are really looking forward to Christ, and we're saying, yes, let's go, Father, let's go. But while this is happening, we're doing everything to solve these things. Because we know that He says these things are going to happen. So we've got to look at this and say, Lord, you know, you said it's going to happen. But let's just pray more people into your kingdom. There's a sense of urgency in the Church of God today. There's a sense that something has to be done. But what has to be done? Because we know we can't do it in our own strength. That's the sense of urgency. So that is the good news and the bad news. But that's from a Christian perspective. No matter how much money we throw into our communities, no matter how, it will just transfer to another community because these are the end times.
Well, you know, what I would like to say is that actually the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the first of the signs of the last day is my coming. So the last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the first of the signs of the last days. And actually the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that between my coming and the end of the world, and he was sitting and the sun was about to set. He said, between my coming and the last days, the end of the world, is like the time between this sun and its setting. Meaning, all the Prophet is saying it's close. However, it is really not in the teachings of Islam that we sit and just wait for the last days to come and wait for Jesus to come, as we believe Jesus is going to come, or wait for the Mahdi to come. Absolutely not, because it's been 1,400 years, okay, and it's been 2,000 years, okay, since Jesus was saying it's going to happen, and it's been 2,000 years, 1,400 years since the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it's going to happen, and we're still here. Okay, the last days could be another 1,000 years or another 2,000 years. Okay, yes, maybe things are getting worse, but I believe Islam teaches us to be optimistic. I believe Islam is a religion where we work to try and achieve goodness. We don't allow, because at the end of the day, you see, I wrote to my friend today. He said, come over to Houston, Texas, to give us some lectures. Well, you know, apart from my fear of being dragged off to Guantanamo Bay, you know, and apart from my sheer nervousness these days of going anywhere outside the United Kingdom, I'm actually genuinely concerned about my carbon footprint. A long-haul flight produces enough carbon emissions for a human being if you divided the carbon emissions that we should be allowed to emit. It's called our footprint. The average person in the West emits the pollution. What they would say is, how many planets would we need in order to maintain your lifestyle? Most of us, if everyone in the planet lived like us, we would need 3.5 planets in order for every human being to live like you and me. Now I believe that God is going to ask me on the day of judgment how I behaved. I believe God is going to ask me about every single little thing that I have done. I believe in a religion that teaches people not just to believe in some magic solution. You believe in this guy, he died for you, and that's it, you can do whatever you like because you're saved. No. I believe in being responsible. And I'm not saying, because when Kofi talks about Christianity, I just came from Ireland. And most Christians are Catholics, actually, until today, about, I don't know, 60%. And when I was talking with the priest, and our dialogue today seems so different, because really, believe me, when I heard the priest talking, I thought he was talking about my religion. And when I was talking, he thought I was talking about his religion. And what we agreed is that there are so many things we have to tackle as Christians and as Muslims. The environment, social injustice. Do you as Christians think it's right for people to suffer tyranny and oppression? Do you think it's right that we in this part of the world enslave the rest of the world through debt, through interest payments? Do you think that's right? Don't you think we have a responsibility to do something about it? Or is it we just wait? You know, this is my question. Do you think we're just going to wait for Jesus to come and sort it all out? Or should we do something about it right now? Maybe we won't change it, but at least it means before God, we've tried to do something. This is my question. I mean, maybe I've interpreted everything wrong. But when Kofi sits there saying it's going to get worse and Jesus is going to come and that's it, what I'm asking is there something really practical that we can do? I'm not saying that Christianity, I thought it did. So I was a bit confused by what Kofi said. I don't think we just sit and wait.
Okay, 1 minute, I've got to say this. I didn't say we sit down and do nothing. What I said was,
tell us what we do then.
What I did say was, yes, we do something, but we look forward to the return of Jesus. That's what I said. I said, you see, there's some prophecies that Jesus made that because it's a prophecy, you can't do anything about. You're going to come against God? No. You can't do anything about those prophecies. You can't. We don't know why. Let me ask you something, guys. 40 years ago, did you ever think, if some of you are not 40, some of us are, I'm showing my age, did you ever think that communism will break down? Did you ever think about global warming? No. I reckon that there are things coming today that we don't, tomorrow that we don't even know about. But all these things are things that are going to contribute to what is going to happen in the very near future. The book of Revelation in our Bible spells that out. The Great Tribulation is coming. Brother Abdul talked about the Antichrist. He's knocking on the door. This is everything. Everything is being primed for him. I'm not saying we sit there and do anything, do nothing. I'm saying we look forward to what Jesus Christ is going to do. He's coming. He's coming and he's saying, listen, these things are going to happen. What we've got to do is do everything we can, but just put that in the back of our mind that he's coming. And these are signs all the time. That's what it is.
Thank Thank you once again. I'd like to commend both the speakers because what they just said